So, last year was raising myself, right? As I was in shock, um, that was a decision that the Most High brought me to. With everything that I did for my daughter, I applied to myself. Um, and so, so the end of the year is September. So in October, we have end of year review of everything for that year. And so these videos, processing and building up for that point. Erica Mason, in a way, came into my life more real last year. So that was more than enough for me. That was more than enough for me because I am the person, because of abuse that I went through, that when I get in a relationship, I'm gonna run a little. There's nothing that she could have did that was gonna make me come anyways. I completely not ready yet. I want things to go slow. I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna like you, but if you're moving too fast, I'm gonna back up a lot. I'm gonna find any reason to back up a lot. So this was going to be a little bit, I think this was the worst case scenario, but I feel like it happened for a reason because I needed, all of that stuff needed to come to the surface. I needed to process it and get it out, not forget about it and build on top of dead bones. That's not funny. But so all of this trauma needed to come out. I didn't need to suppress it and just build something new. I needed to get it out to build something new. So even though it was suffering, it needed to come out. Needed to get that wound out. Now I gotta clean the wound. And it was not fun. It was not fun to go through at all. It was not fun to go through at all. So end of year review. Because I be forgetting my memory, I took some points. I took some pointers because memory be fried. Let me see. So some things I want to touch on. Dang, I don't want to start with that. Okay. Family traditions, we'll start with that. So in 2020, as I was in hiding, running for my life, my best friend had got me an apartment, and I was hiding out there because my husband tried to drive his car into me at full speed, and the Most High saved me. He was in his car, I was in my car, and he just started an argument out of nothing. It was about taking my dad's cigarettes, and I didn't want to take my dad the cigarettes because I felt like it was bad for his health. So he just started cussing me out about it, and I'm like, you know what, get out my car, pull over on the side of the freeway, get out my car. But he was driving, so that did not happen. And so we got back to where we was at my other best friend's property. Both my best friends own property. So my middle school best friend, this was before I got the apartment. This was when I was still homeless. I was at my other best friend from second grade, first grade. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get out because he wouldn't let me out. So I opened the door to get out the car. And as I was getting out, he took off and I spin out of the car. And so I walked up to go get my car back. And he was taking his stuff out the car. So I took off before he could finish getting his stuff out the car because he made me spin my leg and I was pissed off. And he started chasing me down in his car. And I was trying to get away. And he tried to drive into me, and I spent out, and I was spinning, and the Holy Spirit was like calmly showing me what to do to come out of it. And it's like, you're gonna live, I'm with you, bro. And that's when I knew, like, we had to separate. That's when I knew we had to separate. We did not separate that night. We did not. We went to a hotel, had a whole date. And it was I don't know what the heck was wrong. Okay, but anyways, we did not break up that day. I did not know, like, he just started an argument for no reason. But I didn't know, like, I'm guessing that's our parents was already trying to get him to set up to put me in the mental ward. Because, like, he just started arguing for, like, no reason. And he had been doing that. Like, he was leaving raisin boxes all over the floor and then cussed me out because I cleaned up the raisin boxes, and he was talking about I threw away his childhood memory. Like, it was the stupidest stuff leading up to us separating. And so I was just in hiding in a different city. And so I was just in hiding. And I was trying to come out. I had my son and my daughter at that time. And I was with my girlfriend Amber, because she was kind of a similar situation. We both, were with our high school, who we were with from high school. I only had one boyfriend. She was Jehovah's Witness, so she was Jehovah's Witness. I was basically in my aunt's cult. Jehovah's Witness is a cult too, but so we were all living together. Me, Amber, her daughter, and her other daughter would come to visit on the weekends, and they would leave some, like every other weekend her daughter would come, and then she would leave every other weekend, and then it would just be me and the kids, me and my birth children, right? And so we were working on healing. I was still in shock then, but I was working on teaching my daughter, like we were doing potty training and morning hygiene. All of this grew from that basic, and the stuff that we were focusing on, the Most High first. So we had the 5: wake up, praise Yah, hygiene, dressed and ready to listen and learn, education, and chores. And it took, like, we had to keep going over that cycle. And the Most High made me realize how important just that basic is. Never forget the basics. And so that was pretty much the birth of the journey, the healing journey, seeking the Most High with my children. And, some of the values that my mom installed in me, quality over quantity, work first, play later, some of the things that I passed down, to my children. And so my daughter, like I had told them to pray about, I wanted them to have the concept of what is the word I'm looking for? Dedication, right? Because my separated husband, his parents did not have that for him. They buy him whatever he want. If he break it, they buy a new one. And I see what that did to his mind. He did all this horrible stuff to me, will not fix it, still pretends to be this great person and just go and get another person, because that's the concept that they taught him with his toys. And that was a big argument that we always had with my son, because like if he would break a toy or something, he would just want to replace the toy. My mom, you had that toy. If you broke that toy, you had to fix it. Like, my mom taught me these things. I didn't just get replacements. That was not something that I had. My mom did not read me instructions. I had to read the instructions myself. I had to figure out how it worked myself. And then my mom didn't really allow us to have sound with anything. So that left us to our own imagination. When, sometimes, like, we begin, at a point we turned the TV up, but, a lot of times we were not allowed to have sound and stuff. So I wanted my children to have I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but I wanted them to not give up. I wanted them to be dedicated to something. So I let them choose for themselves. I told them to pray, and we studied different jobs and different things like that. And they were 2 and 3 years old, because my son was 4 a month before he turned. So my son was 4, my daughter was 2, about to be 3. So they were 2 and 4, and I told them to pray, and what they would want to do as a lifetime job and work for the Most High. My son said he wanted to have a cookie shop where he baked cookies and had like basically like a everything store for like children and stuff. And that would be, and he wanted to fix cars because he likes cars, right? And then my daughter said she wanted to be a soccer player. I was not on board with the soccer player at that time, but she drew me into it. Also, my mom, because my mom kept abusing me, and so that would force me out of the house when I went back with my mom. And so I would just take my daughter to the park. We had this soccer ball, and so that gave me lots of time to kick the ball around with her and learn and study and coach her and stuff like that. So with my daughter, as time grew and as I started to realize that I was not okay, and in those times where I didn't know what to do, we would play soccer. And that was a good counseling session and a good bonding session for us, as we played a lot. And one thing, like, I began to come out of my shell with my daughter, because like I would just be like, but when I'm around people, like I'm real awkward, quiet, don't move. I used to be in that time. When I'm by myself, I'll be dancing, I'll be doing my thing, I'll be chilling. And so she's just always be in the background while I'm just being me, and she was picking up on how I'm around other people and when it's just us. But my daughter is very extroverted. She wanted to be around her family, because I was very introverted and in shock. I didn't want to be around nobody but my daughter. So for those years of her life, it was just pretty much me and her, right? So I am glad that she has so many cousins. She got like 10 cousins, right? So this is her being 6 years old and the police kidnapping us. Really is the first time she really got to be around children her age. It was just me and her, because I would try to go make friends and stuff, and then my anxiety would just, I couldn't. So I was okay with her being with her dad and them for a while. I did not know that they were telling my children that I abandoned them and making my children depressed and all of this stuff. Because first off, you're not just gonna beat me and then because we have kids try to force me to be like, okay, we need to co-parent, I have them sometime, you have them sometime, but I'm not coming back to you. For you to sit there and then tell the children that I abandoned them and heavily depress them is not okay. And then realizing that a lot of the people in my family are pedophiles. And while the rape and incest that they endured as children was not their fault, continuing in it is. But then also realizing that they still have white case managers and stuff from the county that is isolating them in this. And the police and the social workers are in on it and is isolating them in this. It's not okay either. The county is in on it also. So then that gave me urgency to go get my children back. I had a studio apartment because that was all I could afford at the time. But because I was a single woman, and the way a lot of men are very sick, and women too, I was being gang stalked and severely life-threatened in that situation. I'm not going to get deep into that, which led to, for the second time, being wrongfully evicted. I was reporting the sexual harassment, and it just got worse to where I was winning in the argument because what was going on. They gave me a 3-day notice, and the police kicked my door in, and escorted me out. So then here I am now, finally had caught back up to where I could have some money to have enough food for my children. But then coming to the realization, my son is about to be 11. We cannot all sleep in a hotel room. It's going to be hard for me to get a apartment because I have now 2 evictions. Now, because of the tariffs, I cannot afford, and that's just something for this that's occurred this month. I had this is my food for the next 2 weeks, for the next 10 days. Okay, so right now I cannot afford to feed them. So this is new problems. So why I am also going to be dedicating more into YouTube and building my YouTube and seeing how that goes, so that I can make, I don't know how this works. I do not know how this works. Before, YouTube was not something that it was my counseling sessions. It was not videos for everyone. It was my counseling sessions. It was videos for my grandchildren. But now, we'll be looking into building my YouTube community and how I can do a service for my supporters, which is what I started with my daughter, implementing that family tradition of family league sports. And it is not to compete with major league sports at all. It is a family league, and every 4 years will be I want to host an event, a sports tournament, working on the details for that. And that would be my service to my supporters, y'all willing. And the winners, y'all willing, will receive cash prizes for the top 3. And that will be in the works going forward, now that I'm coming out of shock and, progressing and build my channel so that I can make a second income off of that and have the money to get my children. I'm going to go check on them. Right now I don't have money to feed them, so at this point I cannot take them with me because I do not have money to feed them. I don't make enough to feed them. But I'm trusting the Most High, working on making YouTube where I can do a service for my community, because right now this was for my healing. It was not for anyone else. So I was not charged. I don't know how that works. But when I begin to do a service, then I will put where the community can donate me funds. I do not know how that works. So this is my end of year review, what I'll be learning and getting into going forward, so that I can make that income to be able to get a house, even though I have 2 evictions, if I have enough income, because I have no problem paying my bills. Before this, all of my bills were paid before time. I always was paid a day to 3 days before time. As soon as my paycheck hit, I pay my bills. I have no problem paying my bills. I have a problem paying my bills when I'm being sexually assaulted, when I'm living in an unlivable, uninhabitable place. Then no, we're going to have problems until things are stopped and fixed. I'm not somebody that you can bully. So family games, sports tournament, with me and my daughter collabed on creating. Right now, we're working on healing so that when the Most High does open up those gates, I am healed and available and ready to get my children. I am coming out of a lifetime of abuse. I know it's going to be some work with them. If they're believing that I abandoned them, and whether that it's not true, but the truth is still that I'm not there in their life. While I let my son go visit his dad and he never let me see him again, and while the police brutally beat and kidnapped my daughter and my family never let me see him again, when I get them, they're not going to see their dad anymore. I mean, so like they're going to be 11 and 10. Their dad only beat and abused me, so they're only going to be with one parent. If anyone abuses my children, when I see them, it's going to be problems. It's going to be problems. But I am doing the things to build up for me to get my children. Before prices start getting wild out of hand, I could make do with being able to to feed them if I fast a little bit, and I could do that. But now it's getting way, out of hand. This is my food for the next 10 days. So working on me, healing more, getting to that point, and working on, because if the Most High has for me to get them, I'm going to have the income to be able to get them. If the Most High has for me to get them, I'm going to have the income to be able to take care of and provide them. So that must mean that I need to work on me some more. And all of my steps and goals are to and for getting my children back. That is first and foremost. Well, that's second. First and foremost is me personally healing so that when I get them, I can be mentally there for them and able to, healed past my trauma enough to be there for them. And then, but all of my steps is to getting my children. What I'm faced with now is not making enough to afford to feed them. So that is something that I have to fix before getting them. I'm set to be going to get them in December. I need my forever people to be with me, to go, so that my family don't jump me again. That's another barrier. If I go, my family's gonna jump me and pretend like it was me. So I can't go alone. My little sister, she going through her own things. They trying to take her child. She done already, each time they attack me, she's where was the help that helped me. She's tired, and that's very understandable. She has a 1-year-old. I don't even think he's 1 yet. And CPS already trying to take him for no reason, just because that's what they do with our family. That's what they do with our whole family. The government just rape and pillage our family. My cousin took her, all her kids. She's missing. My sister, she was in foster. She's getting out of foster. She just got out of foster yesterday. They had her in an adult program. And because she had a child, now they want to take that child. So, I would prefer not to have to ask her, and that's only if I don't have anyone else to go. I would prefer Erica come with me. I mean, you asking for my body, you can't actually care about me and just come with me so that I don't get jumped. But anyways, so yeah, end of year review. This is where I'm at. Last year is when I found out, or 2023 is when I found out all of that information about, I've been finding out since 2023, 2024, finding out all of this. So yeah, going forward, the plan is continue to work on my mental healing, understanding that my family is not safe, my life was not okay. The Most High is with me, very prevalent in my life. I am not alone. Trusting His plan. Getting better at YouTube. I was so depressed and frozen last year. And my videos were intended to be a roadmap guide to help people who are depressed come out of depression. I never doubted that I was going to make it. I always knew the Most High was going to bring me out of this depression. Because I seen with, I don't know, it's like playing heads up 7-Up and somebody's beating you, but you see their shoes, and so you kind of point out who's been beating you. I have been being isolated and abused and set up over and over, and the Most High keep bringing me out of it. So I'm learning who my ghost abuser is, and I really think it's Donald Trump. And learning who my ghost abuser is and playing back what they did, because and he's doing it. Everything that was done to me, now doing on a mass scale to everybody. So the fear mongering, all of that, you can get through it, you can come out of it. This is not my first time, this is not my first rodeo. I am not a slow person. Whoever was gang stalking me was abusing me so much to where I was illiterate because of the constant abuse, and I was moving around like this and that, to where I was coming off illiterate. I am not illiterate. I was severely abused, to the point where I could not communicate. So coming out of the severe abuse that you guys are going through now, we're all going through now, you're going to come out of it. You're going to be okay. You are okay. You're going to be okay. You are okay. They've been doing this to a child whole life long and failed. Praise Yahweh. So going forward, focusing on the Most High first and always, doing better and being more intentional about my YouTube videos. Not the ones that's for my counseling and healing. Those are still going to be the way that they are. But the ones that are for service to the community and my subscribers, being those videos better quality, and as that comes together. So yeah. So this is my pre-end of year video. And yeah, so Family Games Tournament. I want to do both. I want to do virtual and an actual tournament. And so going to be working on that, going to be building that. It is in 2028. The next one is in 2028. And then the year following will be a ball where everyone who participated in the ball, in the tournament, will be invited to this ball, right? You'll be able to invite your dates and stuff. And I just want that to be something beautiful and holy, right? And so those are some things that I'm going to be working on. Yeah.